Well, hello, it's your old mate Dave Spencer back with you once again, something very different this time. We're going to talk about a friend of mine, Robin Hannay, who died recently. He was born on the 23rd of November 1933 and died on the 4th of December 2021. He was born and spent his childhood in Derby, where the old tram system was just about to finish. His dad was rep for a petrol company, so perhaps transport was already in his blood. From an early age, Robin was a bus enthusiast, standing on the gates of his parents' house, watching buses travel down the A38 to Burton-on-Trent. In his formative years at Bemrose Grammar School, Robin developed a strategic ability to avoid all forms of physical exercise. Instead, sitting in the school library observing the comings and goings of the Derby Corporation bus fleet and, importantly, the delivery of new vehicles from Guy Motors to the coach builders in Loughborough and Leeds. And on a Saturday morning, Robin cycled 4 miles from his parents' home to the local operator Blue Bus Services in Willington to clean their fleet. Well, supported by his dad, Robin joined Guy Motors on a student engineering apprenticeship scheme in September 1950. And little did or would he have realised what a pivotal career choice this would prove to be. And in later years, as many of you already know, he produced numerous articles and books documenting the history of Guy Motors, and I understand he still kept in touch with surviving members of the Guy family. Well, his apprenticeship served him well, and he gained experience in all departments, and it's enabled him to attend the Commercial Motor Show. This was to become an annual event for Robin, and it came before any other business. In 1959, Robin moved from Guy's to Dennis Brothers as the Dennis Lowline sales manager, and he quickly got involved in the redesign of the Lowline to create the Mark III, which was launched at the 1960 Commercial Motor Show. But unfortunately, Robin's enthusiasm wasn't shared by Dennis, who decided not to increase production of the Mark III, and this led to the parting of the ways, with Robin going off to join AEC in the summer of 1962. While Robin was promoted and moved from West Brom to St Helens, AEC eventually merged with British Leyland to form the British Leyland Motor Corporation, and Robin was to remain with British Leyland until 1975. Then he joined Kays of Buxton, and I think it must have been about that time we first met through the Model Bus Federation in Manchester. He was sales manager before moving on to Chatfields of Manchester, where he remained until his retirement in 1998. And we can also record the passing of Guy Motors. The last vestiges under ownership of Jaguar finished in 1987. Well, Robin was a lorry and bus enthusiast for over 80 years. He joined the Omnibus Society in 1950, the PSV Circle in 1953, and the Historic Commercial Vehicle Society in the 1960s, and he was also a stalwart of the Model Bus Federation since its start. His knowledge was encyclopedic, and he made regular contributions to magazines which included Buses, Classic Bus, Historic Commercial Vehicles, Vintage, Road, Cine, and it just goes on. He published books and provided authoritative information on the history of AEC, Dennis, and of course Guy Motors. And in his retirement, he was never happier than when correcting misconceptions, particularly those related to the ill-fated Guy Wolfranian. And even in his final days, his family recalled him sorting through his model collection, and he was able to provide his family with an education on the subtle differences between operator liveries and explain how proper researches were needed to extol the virtues of the Guy Arab Mark IV, for which he produced the 1956 commercial motor show brochure. And I actually owned a Guy Arab IV for a short while as part of the Blackburn bus group, and that was back in the 1970s, straight out of service. Well, it's a shame that we have to talk about something in the past, but these things happen, and never again will we see the likes of Robin, who unfortunately will have left us with so much information in his head. We've got his articles, we've got his books, but if you look on the internet, there's precious little. So a pre-digital goodbye to Robin. And that's all for this occasion from your old mate Dave Spencer. Bye bye.